Hello, Internet. My name is Aqua, and welcome to the RWBY Volume 5, Chapter 10. We're almost at the end, and things kind of happening now?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm joined by Rebkos, as always, over there. Because why not?
Sure.
So, I thought this overall was a pretty freaking good episode, actually. That might just be the fact that nothing really happened in the last 5 chapters.
That too. We've been,
But
lulled into a false sense of security.
A little bit. Just a little bit. That's their plan all along.
Stockholm Syndrome with the entire series.
Oh, boy. I mean, at this point, might as well be. But, yes, we had stuff happen.
We did. This was more or less the episode I was expecting. Complete with the opening very explicitly with a completely useless Ozpin Crow scene. Yeah,
Mostly useless.
Completely useless.
It had a use. The fact that we found out Ozpin's cane isn't the relic.
The only thing I really enjoyed in that sequence was how conspicuously Ozpin's cane was in nearly every frame of the shot.
It really was.
Just so that we could hit the point where Ruby has one more question, and then he's like, my cane is not a relic. And she's like, I have no more questions. Like, that's it.
Yeah. But it has more tricks lined up its sleeve. So I guess we're already jumping ahead. So let's jump back to the beginning and then go right back to there, because that's really all there was, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they're talking. They're like, hey, shit's fucked, yo. It's bad. It's bad time.
And we're discussing the missing huntsman, what? A month and a half after Crow figured out they're all missing?
Who knows? I figured it was like he got back and the next day they were talking.
Maybe?
I
guess he didn't. I guess he realized they were missing like right before Yang showed up, and Yang's only because Yang's been there. I don't see.
Yeah, that's.
I feel this should have come up before.
Well, Ozpin did say like, "Hey, just chill for a bit. Like, you guys need time to relax. Let's just do that."
As much as Ozpin subscribes to this sit, wait, and do nothing mentality, or I guess the official acronym SWAT is indeed sit, wait, and talk, but I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. They also said it's like, hey, we're gonna discuss our next move, and then they never did in this episode, which I was a little sad about.
Well, no, because we have to gather the team to discuss what we're going to do next, yes. Because in the next episode, Blake's going to be on a boat, and we're going to admire the boat, and then we're all going to sit in our chairs and discuss things.
We're going to discuss the boat.
And then, God, we don't know about the boat. Yang might be upset, just on principle, because Blake's not there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Why didn't Ruby ask about her silver eye?
Why hasn't Ruby done a lot of stuff? Like, maybe her question should have been, shouldn't we be doing anything at all?
Yeah, just like, Ruby finds out she has this superpower that nobody else in the world friggin' has, probably. And she doesn't give a shit. If I were her, I'd be like, hey, you know that thing? The laser beams out my eyes? Let's do that. But no.
Crow, I was talking with Yang, and she said that you were planning on murdering all of the huntsmen. Could you share us a little bit more on that front? Like, I don't know. There's so many other questions here, which I feel perhaps should have a little bit of priority in the queue, but, you know.
Just maybe a little bit, but hey,
No, we have the one fan service question, and that's it. Yep. No more questions.
Yeah. Which, I mean... It really annoyed me that she didn't ask about her silver eyes and still hasn't at this point. But it is nice to, like I said earlier, that we finally learned that the cane is not a relic. It's just a thing that is really cool that we haven't seen much of. Unless the sphere around Ozpin was part of the cane's power, not his. Who knows?
Did you ever play those logic puzzles where it's like the grid and it's things like, oh, you have 5 people, and each of them have a cat and a favorite color, and you have to go through all the different logic questions, and it's like, Mrs. Smith owns a furry animal that is not a dog, and you just have to, like, figure out the logic from that. I feel this is, like, one of the stupid giveaway ones where it's like, Susie's favorite color is blue, and it's like, okay, thank you. Yes, I did need that.
Chinchilla?
Missing the point.
Damn.
But it's like, okay, thank you. You have confirmed that's not the relic.
Yeah.
Yes. Anything else you'd like to share with the class?
So that was pretty much that scene. It wasn't all that long, and it started and ended the same way, except Osmond being like, yeah. Because at first, I thought it was kind of funny that Crow's like, hey, shit's fucked, and Osmond's like, it could be worse. And then, like, Ruby comes and goes, and is like,
humanity has great potential as we sit here and discuss it.
Like, yup. It's like, what? Why'd you change all this stuff?
Maybe Ozpin is actually the bad guy because he's just like gathering all of the good people to him and encouraging them to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I'm starting to realize why Ozpin has had such an issue with this problem throughout his entire multi-generational being. Yeah,
it's like, gee, why'd you fail to defeat Salem last time? Were you high as a fucking kite and too distracted with looking for munchies to bother stopping her? Like,
I mean, he was high up in a tower.
He was high up somewhere.
So after that little scene that was a transitional scene, I guess, we go to Raven and Leo. I don't know why I rolled that R, but I liked it. So they're talking and stuff, and they don't seem to be getting along too awful well. They're just kind of like shoved together via, Salem's
circumstances.
Yeah.
I did enjoy Leo straight up admitting that his motivations are purely fear.
Yeah.
Like, I did, that gave him some interesting character depth of, he knows this is wrong, he knows he's betraying everything, he knows he's gone too far, but he's just too damn terrified.
I feel like Raven kind of feels the same way, but won't admit it. And he kind of alludes to that at the end of it. When he says,
who are you trying to convince?
Yes, exactly. That's one of my favorite. Anytime anybody can use that line, it's like my favorite thing.
That like made me pretty happy. Like, she's doing her usual sassy bitch crap of like, I have no fear. Only the strong survive. I will survive. I am Raven.
She didn't say she was strong. She said she was smart, which we have covered multiple times throughout this series that we've been doing. She's not smart.
Yeah, it's like, sorry,
not smart at all.
You're not good at negotiating. And it's kind of like Radio Shack when they advertise, like, you've got questions, we've got answers. And it's like, they don't know jack shit. Like, you go into a Radio Shack and ask a question, they're like, rrr.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, Raven's very smart. Raven doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Raven's going to realize that she has had no control of any situation her entire life, like right before she dies. It's going to be pretty brutal.
Maybe?
Spoilers. No, it's going to happen. I know. I've read the script. I worked for Rooster Teeth. Anyway, moving on.
This just got a whole lot more complicated.
Being real now, except not really.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sue me, Rooster Teeth. I didn't actually like hack into your shit and steal your scripts. I don't know. Anyway, so that was a nice interaction overall. I actually
that little scene was infinitely more interesting than the Ozpin Crow scene, where they're like literally sitting around.
Raven even got to walk around. There was movement in the scene when they were talking.
Whoa!
That's the big thing here. We don't anything that they said is like, oh, whatever, you take away
Raven
whatever.
was pacing menacingly instead of sitting quietly as we discuss.
Yes, and Leo was very sad
concerning
behind his
everything. Yeah, it's a nice desk.
It is a very nice desk. So now, as you wrote in your notes, cut to why we're actually here.
Oh my god! That scene that we've been waiting for since probably episode 7.
You mean since volume 4? Since this plotline was introduced?
Yeah. Well, we knew it was coming in volume 4, but we expected it, by volume 7. And now we're by episode 7. Yeah, and now we're at episode 10, and it finally happened. Yay. Mama Belladonna's bodyguards kind of suck. Like a lot.
Also, the physics of this world make no sense because she just blocked a bullet that was one-shotting everybody with a wooden dinner tray thing.
Serving trays, who knew?
Yeah, it's apparently they're just amazing.
I mean, we block bullets, we knock out angry bat faunus man.
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense. Like, if you have that thick of, like, solid-ass wood, that's gonna do some damage.
I mean,
to somebody.
I assume it's, like, iron reinforced, like...
I mean, it blocks bolts, so it has to be. Like,
I mean, I know all of my T-sets are iron reinforced.
That's what we'll go with, because I was incredibly confused. She just, like, picked it up and it's like, I blocked a bullet, and she's just like, I don't fucking know.
Well, yeah, and then her bodyguards are like, well, that couldn't possibly have worked. It's like, you're hiding! You're actively hiding while your principal is just standing out in the open.
Yeah,
like,
Kelly's
what are you doing?
Like, I'm just gonna stand out in the open, just whatever. So then Batman shows up, and suddenly everybody that was shooting just disappears.
Yeah, and Batman's like actively choking out the rabbit just cause. Like,
that's what he's there for. He's not
I
really
know,
there
but
to,
is that really the quickest way to expedite this? Of like, there's a rabbit, I'm gonna choke it. And we're just going to sit here and let Callie sneak up on us with the serving tray.
He should have given her carrots. Would have left. Yeah, that's about right. So,
yeah, okay.
Then we cut over to... So we have that little thing with Callie. And then we go to Blake and Ilya.
Yep.
And you have things to say.
Oh, no, we're not quite up to my rant
Not
yet.
quite yet? Okay.
There's a rant pending for everyone.
Yes, there is.
We're not there yet.
So, I was really confused as to when Blake made her clone that Ilya jumped through.
Yeah.
And it was talking, which, I mean, if she's a ventriloquist all of a sudden, that's fucking cool as shit.
I'm just kind of accepting this as somewhere between Rule of Cool and they forgot how Blake's semblance works.
It was probably more Rule of
Because
Cool.
I'm pretty sure we also haven't actually seen Blake's semblance move by itself.
No. They definitely had one that was just like standing still in Volume 3.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's ever one that's moving. At least that we knew of. Maybe she's just like half the time she was at Beacon, she just had a clone just like fill in for her.
I mean, that would explain some of Blake's like standoffishness, where people are like, where's Blake? Oh, she's over there pacing around reading. And it's like, Blake's asleep in the rafters.
Yeah,
that's
like,
what Blake's doing.
That's great. So, speaking of clones, though, I felt like there was a lot of good clone usage in this fight throughout.
Yeah.
She didn't use it a whole lot, but she used it very well.
I was not loving Blake's sword work early in the scene. She was very much gripping her weapon like a baseball bat instead of a sword, and it was just very
At the beginning of this
for me.
fight, there was some really weird stuff that was going on animation-wise. And
there were some like bad camera angles on the swords where it just looked like super derpy, and it was like, is this a katana length blade or is this a shoto? Like, what is this?
There were some really good shots in there as well, and I felt like overall it felt like a really good anime fight, but not necessarily a good RWBY fight.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It didn't have like the stuff that RWBY has, you know. It didn't feel like it flowed at all. It was just like really stop and start and stuff, which, you know, it could just be like their fighting style made it that way, but I'm sure they could have done something to. And
I did like a little bit of the. Blake is pulling her punches on this one.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
She's not trying to win. She's just trying to stop Ilya, which works out for her very nicely. But yeah, there's just a couple moments of like, well, that was sloppy. That was.
I was also really glad to see the return of dust bullets from Blake, and that she just has them, which is like, hey, I'm a huntsman, so I should probably have some like dust rounds on me. So
yeah,
that was really nice to see.
Though I do wonder if lighting the house on fire was really the best course scenario. I saw this
to say about that later, but
I saw this great meme put up of Blake wearing one of those pet shaming signs, and it said, humans didn't do this, faunus didn't do this, I did this, I set my house on fire.
I wrote that exact thing down in my notes because that's like my favorite thing ever now. Humans didn't do this. We did this.
It's like, no, I did this. I lit the house on fire.
I lit the house on fire.
Like,
yeah, there were so many people in the subreddit being like, "Hey, no, but Blake, they didn't do that. You did that.
Bad kitty. Bad
like, don't
kitty.
use that in an example. You did that. Like, come on." So
yeah.
it made sense, but it was like, just chill. Like, I know you got fired, but like, just chill.
I accept it, and I get that. All right, Faunus have good night vision, but Ilya's put them in the dark and is also turned herself completely black. Like, probably Blake still can't see her. Mm-hmm. But you lit the entire house on fire?
I think it was just that one part.
Right.
And they had a thing overhead, and it was just the one part of the house
full of foliage. That she lit the foliage bit and it immediately started spreading all around the room. No one saw that coming.
Maybe they forgot to water those plants.
No one saw the wooden house catching on fire.
Maybe they didn't water those plants or that room, and they watered all the rest of the plants and rooms.
Uh-huh. Maybe the terrorists should have built a bomb. Because I'm pretty sure everything would have gone up like a tinderbox.
Yeah. I remember someone actually left a comment on the last episode being like, yes, building a bomb in Remnant is very hard to do. You need to have some sort of, like, volatile stuff just laying around, you know? It's not like that's just everywhere available. Yeah.
Just everywhere. At all of the local 7-Elevens.
Yeah, so it's just like, oh, convenience store, explosives, great.
Perfect. Yeah.
Anyway. So then, a little bit after Blake and Ilya are fighting for a little bit, then I think Ilya has her little like breakdown moment of like, I don't know what to do and all that stuff, which was like
she does, but right before that, you have Blake hiding in the rafters, Ilya yelling at her. And Ilya yells, the only choice we have left is to attack back. Mm-hmm. And I really like that. Like, the phrase attack back is just a very odd statement. And it is also explicitly what Yang said in Volume 3 when she is explaining that she is justified in having punched Mercury. Mm. And so I thought it was a really interesting little callback of Ilya justifying her behavior using the same language that Yang did to justify hers.
I kind of doubt that was a callback, but if it was,
I don't
really
know
cool.
if it was. It may also just be like either Carrie or Miles has this very odd way of speaking, because I wouldn't consider attack back to be a phrase.
No, I would not.
Like, what do you mean you attack? You attack back?
English and Remnant's different than here. They have different.
You responded. You reacted. You retaliated.
Punch in the face, bunch.
There are many other words here we could use other than attack back.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's a callback, but it may just be that we need to teach Carrie and Miles the word retaliate.
Or any other combination of English phrases that would have worked there that...
Attack back.
Attack back. Attack back. Yes. Maybe that's Ruby attack back. That's the next game. Done.
I mean, like, make it like a Pokemon fight. It's like, Pikachu, attack back! And it's like, what?
Use attack back.
It's like, just do it again! Do it again!
So then Blake and Ilya have their little moment, and it's great. It's like, it's one of the best characterization moments in this season so far, I feel
and the voice acting on Ilya's part was phenomenal.
Voice acting. That's the one thing that just amazes me about Ilya's character, this entire thing, is just the voice acting, how it's always freaking spot on. Whoever's doing the voice for that, kudos 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times over. Like, holy shit, you brought that character to life. And the thing is, like, we've known this character for a volume, less than a full volume. And, like...
she's fantastic.
She's, like, already, like, an established character and, like, all this stuff. It's so great. So great.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, that's part of her writing as well.
Sure. And delivering a line two completely different ways when it's the exact same line, like, that's practically an acting exercise, because she does... I don't know what else to do. It's just, like, angry, vindictive, like, I will kill you, and then it's the exact same line is delivered completely breaking down. Like, there's like a game
the exact opposite emotion.
Yeah. There's a game of taking the phrase, I didn't say your idea was bad, and putting the emphasis on different words to completely change the meaning of it. Of, I didn't say your idea was bad. I didn't say your idea was bad.
Yeah, I've seen some other sentences like that, and that's really great. But it is truly like she delivered the same line twice in two completely different ways, and I was just like, oh yeah, and it's just like, okay,
yay. And then Gira comes busting in and sees his daughter mounting another girl, and
doesn't seem too bothered by it. She's like, oh yeah, they're fighting, that's fine.
I don't know. He seemed a little taken aback.
They're fuck fighting, it's fine. That was a term that was coined by two best friends, Blay. I can't take credit for that.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, it was Batman.
Yeah,
it was Batman and Catwoman in the Telltale series. That's what it was.
Yeah, they would fuck fight.
Every time they were like fighting and stuff, they were just like, oh man, they're fuck fighting.
It's like, are they trying to murder each other, or are they trying to do each other?
Yes. So yeah, Gira comes in and like, then one of the brothers starts like punching his fists, which seems like the worst idea ever, because I feel like there's a little bit of a size difference between the two, and I feel like Gira would just shatter his bones.
This is kind of where the scene starts breaking down a bit for me. Like, it's a
little hit or miss from here on out, but like I feel like it's more hit for me.
All right, we're approaching my rant, so you'll see what.
I had a feeling. But see, I don't even know what your rant is, so like I can't even take that into account. What?
That's fair.
Like shit in my eye.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing like the fist punching thing. We've got the two idiot dog brothers whose entire fighting style seems to be picking up their weapons, screaming, and charging in head first.
Okay, yeah, the weapons thing also really kind of pissed me off, because at one point they show both weapons sliding along the floor, and then one of them has their weapon in the hand.
Yeah,
like there was no consistency with where their weapons were at all, and that was just like. When I was watching it back, I was trying to pay attention. Like, okay, so there they are. He has that weapon now, so that's over. They just teleport all over the place, unless they have like 8 daggers. Like,
yeah, which we don't seem to have a reason to believe that they do. And then like even before the two idiots come charging in, like Ilya knocks Blake off of her, and for all intents and purposes, like. Throws her into a chair, the chair backed very neatly into under the table, and then Blake's out cold.
Yeah, and that was weird too.
Like, you can take a pretty serious hit, not to your head, and still be conscious. Mm-hmm. Like, and the hit she took was not that bad. I mean, yay, we put the chair away. And then she's just gone. Like, had Ilya maybe... Sorry, go ahead.
She did get kind of knocked out earlier. Like...
Did she?
Yeah, because this is the same night as when she got ambushed. Because she got ambushed, Ilya fucked off, and then Sun and she left.
But
so,
even
like,
that,
she had some,
that was like...
head trauma? I don't know.
She didn't really have head trauma from that. She had, like, shoulder... iffiness.
I can't remember what exactly happened.
And she just fought really well. So if she's been fighting impaired the entire time, then
damn. My phone.
But like, had Ilya gotten like a solid like head smash into her forehead or something before kicking her off, like that would have been nice.
She also has her full aura up, which doesn't necessarily matter because we saw Yang got knocked out by Neo.
And again,
but we didn't know if her aura was up or not at that point because I didn't start doing the effects for it yet. So,
and like Weiss got knocked out when Chainsaw Guy like slammed her fully like head first into the floor. Like it takes a lot to knock a person out.
She also got hit by a chainsaw.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was definitely like that was pretty brutal.
There needed to be some more violence here to knock Blake out, and then. I would have been a little more okay with that bit, and instead it was like, well, okay, get up, Blake.
Yeah, I was really confused about that, too. I kind of just like, it's like, sure, why not? But it was just like, that probably shouldn't have gone that way.
And then Sun comes charging in and sort of rescues Gira because they're buddies now.
Apparently. I mean, they didn't really say anything to each other, and they didn't show them fighting together ever outside. Like, we got them like, okay, Gira and Sun are gonna fight the brothers outside, and then like...
Cut away.
Cut away. That fight didn't happen. No, never mind.
Nah.
And for some reason, when Gira busted through the wall, it took Sun an extra, like, 5 minutes to come through. And it's like, were you fighting more dudes, or like...
I don't know.
Like,
maybe something was on fire and he was trying to put it out.
Maybe he set something on fire to, like, do something, and then he was like, oh no, I better put this out, and then he just walks in the room and everything's on fire. He's like, well, fuck me. Just wasting my time.
Could be.
But then we get to see the nunchucks again, which is great. It was a really good section. It was actually really fluid for the most part. There were some, like, a little bit too much slowdowns, but, like...
We're up to my rant.
Okay. Take it away.
I enjoyed this episode. I did. I really did. Until I rewatched it. So, timeline-wise, for the audience at home, this is actually, when we are recording this, it is a full week after the episode aired, because I got the flu, so if you hear me coughing every now and then, that's why. This is not the episode that aired a week ago.
And see, I haven't seen the new episode, or the currently aired episode, because I rewatched it via reaction, so I don't know what's going on.
I had to go back and check reaction videos to go, whoa. I was running a high fever for 2 days. Maybe I was delusional and I'm misremembering the episode from a week ago. But no! The animation error I remember from a week ago has mysteriously been removed with some crappy animation. So, the way that this episode originally aired, Sun comes busting in, Blake is laid out prone on the floor, we've got this weird angle of, like, Sun's fists being all fish shaky with Blake in frame, and then Gira's like, go help Blake! And then we launch into the Gunchaku fight. Fine! Whatever! Oh, by the way, while the Gunchaku fight scene is going on, there are no background characters. We just kind of have this massive continuity error that everyone in the background's been deleted while we focus on the fight. Whatever. That's fine. That's typical. That's normal. Who cares? Well, apparently someone at RWBY cared, because if you watch the episode now on that little frame of Sun's fist with Blake laying there, Blake gets up and scampers away.
I'll definitely have to rewatch that, because that sounds hilarious, actually.
She just, like, stands up as if nothing's wrong, and then she does a very generic running animation to leave.
Just to nowhere.
Just to nowhere. Because apparently maybe someone noticed that, none of the background characters are there during the big fight scene, and that's just a continuity error that everyone should accept, kind of like weapons keep disappearing. And instead, Blake sort of runs away for no apparent reason. I don't know where she goes.
That's really funny.
We do the entire fight scene, which then culminates in Blake sitting, looking sad, because apparently we sat back down after we got up and we ran away.
Oh my god. So whoever's
responsible for here?
Whoever's responsible for that, RWBY, please let us know, because I think that's hilarious.
No! Why would you do this? Is not what aired a week ago. When did this change? I pulled up Murder of Birds video to be like, no. I remember this. This was not here, and he totally has as his little corner reaction video. Her just laying there. If you look at the RWBY behind the scenes videos, they include the clip, the original clip, in the discussion of we're working on the episode.
So that means she was there.
She was there. She was laying prone. Go help Blake, and then we moved on.
Yeah.
No, instead, the new episode, as posted, has her get up and scamper away for some reason.
I'm just imagining this in my head, and I feel like it's so distracting. Like, like it's I just feel like that'd be something that would be
awful.
Very obvious.
It looks so bad.
Is it running on the roof volume 2 bad?
It might as well be. Like, are y'all? Hey, crewman, you guys gotta go back and fix that. Like, it's a very generic running animation. She just like gets up and then like jogs away dramatically, and it's like, you were unconscious a minute ago, and apparently Sun needs to go rescue you as you leave.
Get up and leave while he's fighting and don't help him or anything. Yeah, I figured if she was going to get up and be like, all right, I'll jump in now with it. That'd be cool if she like got up and jumped in and fighting and stuff, and they were fighting together.
If I had issues with the go help Blake bit because Blake's just kind of laying there, and instead of, going and helping Blake, he goes and picks a fight with Ilya. Like, if Ilya had been standing over her threateningly, and it would have been like, go help Blake, and he attacks Ilya, would have made perfect sense. Instead, Blake is now running away, and we need to go help Blake by attacking Ilya, who's on the other side of the room.
There are many universes, and many things that can happen in these universes, and every possibility, we just got to see 2 of them. They didn't make any sense, but we got to see 2.
The first one made more sense, and then I went into fever delusion land.
I really gotta watch this, because this sounds really funny.
It's so bad. Like, I watched it multiple times to make sure, I saw it, because it was like, wait, no, that wasn't there. And then I had to go digging to, like, confirm that it wasn't originally there. And it's like, what the fuck is this, guys?
Well, then, after they're fighting, then Sun shoves Ilya into the pole, and it breaks for some reason. Like, maybe there's just a lot more force going on that we can't tell, because it's like, we're thinking about normal human strength.
At this point, maybe there's fire damage.
I guess, yeah, but for some
maybe
reason it breaks.
Blake ran over there and like hit it a bunch of times and then ran back.
That's what she did. That's what she was doing. And she got up to the smack. We figured it out. It's fine.
Humans didn't do this. Faunus didn't do this. I just decided to destroy my house.
Yeah, Blake had to make sure her house was destroyed as much as possible, so she could get as much. That's
her scratch post pole. She just
it's been fucked up for years. So then, then Ilya almost gets squished, and then Gira catches it. And I was really confused about this at first, because I was like, why is Gira helping somebody that's trying to murder his daughter? And then I was like, oh, wait, they've probably known each other for quite a while. Since the leader white fang and everything. And also, Gira just really doesn't want anybody to die. Like, at all, ever, which is awesome. That's such a cool character thing. Because he was even sad when, spoilers, I mean, seen the episode, so this is all spoilers, but when Corsic? Finnick? One of those two.
Finnick goes squish.
And explode.
Yeah, I just accept that.
Well, Sun's clones were there. They explode.
Maybe.
And also, I think it was Murder Birds pointed out that they had... I think it was ice. I thought the daggers were ice and fire, but he said wind and fire. And if it is wind and fire, and like all the dust in those daggers exploded, then that would cause that to happen.
That's fair. I did appreciate the fact they did not kill Ilya in this moment. Like, I kind of wish I'd filmed my reaction to this, because when the structure came down on her, I was like, no.
Yeah. I was just like, they're not gonna, there's no way.
Oh, I was gonna be so mad, because pretty much the entire subreddit would have been justified in their ranting about, like, this is just gonna be the trope, bury your gays, blah, blah, blah. And it was like,
well, it would also be the same thing that happened with Sienna Khan of like, hey, here's this really interesting character with this really in-depth story and like all this really cool, like fucking brilliant character, and just dies right away. For
no good reason. And it's like, but
Yeah. So, but to quote about the whole, like, because Blake pulls Gira out from the thing, and then, which one died again? Finnick, like, dives under there, like, just as he's going out. And I was watching Puns of Damage reaction, which I think her name's Erin, spelled the same way as Aaron Zek, actually. But I was watching her reaction, and she exclaimed, Blake just fucking killed a dude. And I was like, oh yeah, she did. So that's fun. She didn't seem affected by it at all. She's good.
Blake may not fully appreciate she just killed a dude, and Blake also, sets the house on fire. That too.
We don't know yet.
I mean, Blake may just have these, like, sociopathic tendencies of, like, I'm gonna light the house on fire to turn the lights on.
She is a cat.
That too.
Cats are basically neutral evil.
Oh, do you think, like, honest children will, like, murder small animals and bring them to their parents?
Oh, God. Cat faunus or, like, fox faunus and stuff? Oh, man.
Thank you, Blake. That's a lovely dead squirrel.
I'm just imagining Blake with like a dead mouse in her mouth. Just like with like the little cat mouth thing going on. And just like, hi, Dad, I'm bringing this. And just like,
thanks, honey. That's great.
I mean, assumedly, like, Gira and Kelly probably both did the same thing when they were kids, if that is a thing. So they're probably just like, good job. But you're going to be a great warrior in the White Fang. You can.
Okay, yeah, sure. And my nephew will sometimes come charging out of the bathroom without his pants on because he's still trying to figure that part out. But you know, he's a small child, and we yell at him to go put his pants back on. As one does.
Most of the kids are weird, and just leave it at that.
That's true.
So then, yeah, Blake killed a dude, and then
Blake straight up murders a dude.
Yes,
he explodes.
It's great. He explodes, which is great. Exploding bad guys is good, I guess. And then the fight's over, and Ilya changes sides.
I did love her zapping Dog Bro while he's ranting, like, and then her collapsing and just sobbing. Like, I was completely on board with the emotional arc of that.
Great character moment. Like, in Ilya's entire like arc of this episode is just like, ugh. Well, I mean, Ilya's entire arc is great, but like, every moment that like they were talking, and it's like they were talking while they were fighting. They weren't just like, they didn't do the fight and then stop. There's like mid-fight talking.
Wait. You can have activity going on while we talk?
It's crazy. What? That's what we want.
We didn't need chairs?
I mean,
also, I would like to point out that Mama Belladonna knows to tie hands behind the back.
Oh, I didn't notice that, actually. That's very good.
Yeah, she drags in a hostage, and he's nicely tied up.
Kelly walks in with Batman.
Yep.
And then pretty much we have the whole Ilya moment of like her breakdown. And then we go outside where Blake lies to the public about who did what. But hey, you got it on the good guy's side, so it's fine, right? This is Osmond's technique.
We did this in a royal we sense.
Yeah, she wasn't saying we as in like we. It was we as in like royal we as in me.
Technically, she is a faunus, and so therefore faunus were responsible for this, not humans.
Yeah. I just, my headcanon is now she was using the royal we. And just like, just kind of like being like,
hello.
Let's just go
hello,
with this.
my fellow faunus.
We don't have cameras in there. No one will know. It's fine.
I did this.
I did this. I love that.
And
so
then
much.
we get plenty of volunteers for about 2 weeks.
Yep. So yeah, we have everybody. It's like, hey guys, the plot's happening over there. Let's go over there now. And everyone's like, yeah, the plot. Woo, let's go to the plot.
I saw one of those status charts for this episode, and Yang's ongoing status is mad at Blake for avoiding the main plot.
Yep.
And it's like,
that's why this episode was like, oh, they're just going to the plot.
It's like to the plot.
Yeah, so great. So now
I also really appreciated the little son Ilya moment where he's like, you stabbed me.
Yeah, it was
very, very classic son. I approve of that.
That was good. That was a really good character moment for son as well. And then Ilya joins Blake's harem that she's slowly building, apparently. She's got Adam, she's got Ilya, she's got Son, she's got Yang.
I do look forward to Yang and Ilya meeting.
Oh.
That's just going to be awkward.
Yeah, it's like Yang and Blake are going to get together, and then Ilya's just going to be like, fucking again? Like, what?
Like,
I guess I tried to murder her, so it makes sense. But like, come on.
You know each other?
Interesting. And then Captain will be back for boat time.
And everyone's favorite first mate, who has hopefully learned how to move their hands.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
And that's the end of the episode.
Yep. So
maybe next episode's big thing that was alluded to, because in the Ruby Rewind, they always have the little like first look things, but they didn't have one this week. They were just like, hey, something big's gonna happen. It's like, well, no shit. Like, Haven's gonna fall or something, but they're like, oh, something big. So maybe the boat can fly.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah, that wouldn't work very well. I mean, they already have airships, but like, it's faster? I don't know. No, so that is the episode, so we'll go ahead and move on to predictions. And since they did tease something huge is going to happen next episode, you have any thoughts on what that might be?
Not really. Maybe we'll... I mean, so... God, we're probably just going to sit around talking. I really hope we're not.
It can't be. It can't be. They have 4 episodes left. And they said, it's like, now we have the Menagerie storyline wrapped up. We have everybody ready to get shipped on over there. And they're going to get there like the same time as last episode has left off. So like, there's literally no time left before the Fall of Haven. So next episode has to be the start of Fall of Haven.
I mean, but maybe we'll actually
what they're alluding to.
So this. I think on the main timeline, I think the Fall of Haven is tomorrow night.
Yes.
So we have Leo explicitly asking them to come to his office tomorrow night to discuss the bandit raid.
Yes.
So I can only assume that that's when this is actually all going down. So the question is whether or not we are going to skip immediately to tomorrow night, or if we're going to do actually some of the build up during the day.
Osmond did mention, it's like, hey, let's get everybody together to talk about our next plans. So that's probably going to be the start of the episode. But I feel like after that, it'll probably be, that's going to be the start. And then people getting shipped off to Haven. And then probably the episode after that would be the Fall of Haven. Or the start of it, at least.
Maybe?
Or no, that episode would be the start of it. And then the next one, and the rest would be like the conclusion of that.
I'm wondering if maybe we get a Salem episode, because we haven't had one of those in a while.
We still haven't seen Tyrion's tail.
Exactly. We don't know what Tyrion's up to. We don't know what Hazel's really up to. Maybe like a Hazel, Adam, Tyrion, them prepping for the Fall of Haven. Like maybe we'll get to see something there, because we just have not heard from those guys in a while. I mean, this episode is the first time we've heard from Leo since what, episode 3?
I think so, yeah. It's definitely been a while.
So,
I mean, there are a lot of directions it could go at this point. I'm hoping for some Silver Eye stuff before the end of the volume still, but like, I'm not super hopeful on it because it hasn't even been mentioned in the last 2 volumes.
It's gonna, Osmond's gonna gather the entire team together and he's gonna go, Ruby, you really should have brought this up. I know you've been refraining. FYI, your Silver Eyes are... they're really easily triggered by one thing. Hey, Jean, come here. Stab. And then she sets them off, and we go,
it's like
ta-da!
Super Saiyan.
There we go. Just every time one of your friends is murdered in front of you, you go, pew!
Jesus. So, and it's interesting because they still don't know that Osmond is with them, so that's kind of neat. Even though he's a little bit useless in his current form, probably. I mean, he's not totally useless. He still has magic, but... I'm curious if Salem has magic too, actually, in a similar vein. Because I feel like what's kind of going on right now is that Ozpin was, like, sent by the good brother, or like I don't know, he's a good bro, evil bro. And then...
yeah, we don't really know what the source of magic in the world is.
I feel like it has to be the gods, like, that created... all of the stuff that they talked about.
But are is it imbued in people? Is it something one can acquire?
I feel like it's something that can be given based on
it can be
Ozpin.
given once you have it, but
exactly, yeah.
how do you
that's what I'm saying, like
get it?
It's like the two sources of magic in the world that like they just like, okay, here's the magic, you can just disseminate it however you want. I feel like Salem was made by the brother that made all the Grimm, and Ozpin was sent by the one that made humanity. And I feel like they're just, I don't really know the point necessarily of it yet, but I feel like that's kind of what's going on, because there's a lot of stuff that's been hinted at so far. The more I think about it, it's just like, these and two Salem, were literally like sent by the gods.
Does Salem create the Grimm, or was Salem a product of the Grimm? Is she effectively a higher evolution of Grimm?
That's kind of what I'm thinking by like the Grimm brother sending her. It's like, this is the pinnacle of my creation.
No. Like, he makes Grimm fine, but did he make her, or did she just happen to spawn up out of what he originally created, and then the Grimm got so out of control that something else had to be thrown back in to balance it?
Right, yeah. I don't know. I just don't know. But I'm very interested, because the opening even mentions like, you find out you've been messing with gods. So clearly there's some really high level shit going on that we don't really know about, and Ozpin isn't telling anybody anything. It's like, even though it's like, no more whatever, I'll be totally open, but I'm not going to tell you have to ask.
But on the plus side is Cain isn't a relic, and that is the only question anyone has.
Yeah, I just like, I mean, I was so shocked when Ozpin was like, okay, we're going to, like, I'll be fully open. I was like, okay, here's going to be like a shit show now, because everyone's going to be like, what the fuck then? And everyone was just kind of fine with it for some reason.
Yeah.
So.
Also, when's the last time we saw the non-Ruby part of Ranger? Like,
it's 2 episodes ago?
Is it that recently?
I think so. Because that was when Yang came.
Was that the useless episode?
I don't remember.
Maybe.
I don't remember anymore.
I feel, Jean, Nora, and Ren just really haven't been present in a while. Mm-hmm. At least not usefully.
I feel like Jean would be asking Oz a lot of questions.
I want to see Jean punch Oscar. Yeah.
Yeah.
There needs to be some Jean on Ozpin violence here.
Mm-hmm. Or at least just some talking. Like, please?
Yes, I will take
Oscar's
talking
like, wait,
between the two of them.
You got his girlfriend killed? Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Although I guess Oscar probably would know that, because that would be very fresh in Oz's brain, and they share memories now.
I feel I feel Nora would be snooping and Ren would be following her. So, like, whatever classroom Leo has the pile of dead huntsmen in, I really feel they should have found that by now.
Who knows? Because I think last episode they were like, or whenever they were last all in a group, I think that's when, like, they were having the talk of like, all right, like, you showed up, ask me some questions that don't really matter, ignore all of the important stuff, and then, hey, let's just kind of take a break and like chill out for a bit, since, like, keep training, but like, you can enjoy yourselves. It's probably
probably one of my, once we get said and done with all of this, probably my biggest complaint for this volume will be the fact that they didn't have anything really planned for Haven, and that all of Haven has been filler episodes to get Blake's timeline caught back up.
Yeah.
Like, if there'd been some side quest activity they were doing in Haven, everyone had gone along with Crow to try to find the huntsmen, and then we were having these conversations about, like, well, where are they? That could have been something. And instead, we're drinking a lot of coffee.
Yeah. I feel like Volume 4 just needed more menagerie stuff just to get through it, so that we didn't have to start from this. I feel like menagerie started at such a weird spot this volume. Like, nothing was really going on, and it's kind of like, it makes sense for the
timelines were all over the place for Volume 4. Like, Yang's timeline is really hard to figure out exactly how long it was.
Well, we only
and
had
how
like
quickly
3 or 4
she was.
scenes with her total, even so.
Oh yeah, like Yang got barely any screen time in Volume 4, and meanwhile seemed to cover months of time.
Yeah, easily.
Ranger got a ton of screen time. It's really unclear how long they were adventuring. Weiss got a moderate amount of screen time and didn't really seem to be in Atlas all that long.
No, like we have no idea how long Weiss was there. There's nothing to tell us.
Yeah.
How long it was, other than she did a concert, she went to a ball right after that, and like that's pretty much the most we got of
where
like,
everything broke down.
Time, yeah.
Like she might have been home for a full month. Like there are questions about the timeline in the last episode or in the last volume, but they didn't matter.
No,
in this
really.
case, we keep raising questions about the timeline, not fixing them. And then just abusing it further and going, oh, no, they have to get together, but, and it's like...
It seems like it's gotten a lot better.
Well, yes, because time has advanced and we've almost sunk them up.
That's true, yeah.
I don't think that's a product of it getting better. I think that's a product of us having waited it out sufficiently.
That's fair. Yeah, you're right. Well, then... Are there any other predictions or theories that you have?
Not really. I'll be curious to see if the episode that airs next week is the same episode that's there in 2 weeks. I'm watching you, Ruby.
Yeah. Maybe the big thing will be Bumblebee becoming a thing officially. Who knows? But that'll be it.
It will, but then they'll change it. It'll be like the Blood Gulch Chronicle finale, just to piss off the fandom.
Oh yeah. Or it's like eight different versions of the ending.
Yeah, and just depending on when you refresh the screen, you get a different one. Yeah, that.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes. So the original season finale for season 5 of Red vs. Blue, depending on just what random refresh you got a different alternate ending for how the season ended. Whether it was so Texas ship blowing up or it was the game over guy scene, and then the forums lost their shit at each other as everyone started arguing about how the season ended. And it took people a while to realize what had happened, with the Rooster Teeth folks sitting there going, hee.
That's really funny. Yeah, because I just watched that on YouTube. Like, I was a part of the fandom when that was airing, but I didn't watch their stuff on the site. So I didn't know anything about that. That's really funny.
So if you watch the DVD, which is pretty much the only way I've watched old Red vs. Blue, because I didn't get into any of this until RWB season 13.
Right.
You're welcome. They have what they consider the canon ending, and then they have all of the alternate endings as deleted scenes on the DVD. And if you watch the commentary, they explain the whole thing and how hysterical they thought it was, screwing with everyone like that.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Well, I think that will do it for this RWBYcast. Thank you so much for joining me, Rebkos.
Absolutely.
And hopefully next episode after this break will be mind-blowing. And not just be sitting around and talking. But regardless, you can
and
always,
not retconned with bad running.
That too. But as always, you can leave comments in thing below the comment. I don't know. Scroll down a little bit, you'll see comments box, type stuff in it that is like, hey, I think this, I think that, just whatever you want, and we'll be in the comments responding to you guys and talking about stuff. So yeah, and we'll have a break off, so there won't be a video next week, but there will be a video the week after next week's RWBY video. That was just unnecessary. Hope you enjoyed this, and share it with your friends or something. I'm losing track of things right now, so I'm just gonna say bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm the best at endings. Lou and Nat.
The fuck just happened?
Wow.